please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. The history of the Bentley T2. The Bentley T2 was a luxury car produced by the British automaker Bentley Motors Limited. From 1977 to 1980. It was the successor to the Bentley T1 and was designed to be more modern and refined. The Bentley T2 was based on the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2, but it had its own unique styling and features that set it apart from its Rolls-Royce counterpart. The exterior of the T2 featured a lower front grille and higher headlamps, which gave it a more modern look than the T1. The interior of the T2 was also updated with new seats, dashboard and instrumentation. Under the hood, the Bentley T2 was powered by a 6.75-litre V8 engine that produced 220 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. The engine was mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission that provided smooth and effortless acceleration. Despite its modern updates, the Bentley T2 still maintained the traditional craftsmanship and attention to detail that had made the brand famous. Each car was hand-built to the highest standards, with luxurious materials used throughout the interior. The Bentley T2 was popular among celebrities and wealthy individuals who valued luxury and prestige. It was also used as official transportation for members of the British royal family. Production of the Bentley T2 ended in 1980, and it was replaced by the Bentley Mulsanne. Today, the T2 is considered a classic luxury car and is highly sought after by collectors. The Bentley T2 was a symbol of luxury and prestige, embodying the very essence of exclusivity and style that the brand had come to represent. In many ways, the T2 was a reflection of the times in which it was produced, with a focus on modernity and innovation that was representative of the era. At the same time, however, the T2 was very much a traditional Bentley, with elegance and grace that harkened back to the very beginnings of the brand. The car was a true masterpiece of craftsmanship, a testament to the skill and dedication of the artisans who crafted each and every component by hand. The history of the Bentley T2 is a remarkable story that spans decades, and involves many of the most iconic figures in the automotive industry. From the earliest days of the brand, Bentley has been synonymous with excellence and innovation, and the T2 was no exception. In this article, we will explore the history of the Bentley T2, looking at its design, engineering, and production, as well as its cultural significance and impact on the automotive industry. We will examine the key features and innovations that set the T2 apart, and consider the ways in which it has come to define the Bentley legacy. Origins of the Bentley T2. The story of the Bentley T2 begins with the introduction of the Bentley T1 in 1965. At the time, Bentley was still owned by Rolls-Royce, and the T1 was essentially a rebadged version of the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. This was not a particularly popular move with the traditional Bentley clientele, who were used to bespoke designs and a more distinct separation from Rolls-Royce. However, the T1 was a solid performer, with a powerful V8 engine, air suspension, and a 4-speed automatic transmission. It was a luxury car that was built to the highest standards, with a plush interior that was ideal for long-distance travel. The T1 was still in production when the decision was made to develop a new Bentley, one that would be even more modern and stylish than its predecessor. The Bentley T2 was introduced in 1977, and it was immediately recognizable as a departure from the T1. The T2 was sleeker and more streamlined than the T1, with a lower front grille and higher headlamps that gave it a more aerodynamic look. The car was a little longer than the T1, with a total length of 5.20 meters, but it was also lighter, thanks to the use of high-strength steel. One of the most notable changes on the T2 was the inclusion of a black rubber bumper, which was in stark contrast to the chrome bumpers that had been used on previous models. This was a nod to the changing regulations regarding car safety, which required all cars to have bumpers that could withstand a certain amount of impact. The T2 was also distinguished by its stylish taillights, which were set into a sleek, sculpted rear end. The car had a modern, almost futuristic appearance that was a departure from the traditional Bentley design language. The interior of the T2 was another area where the car stood out. The seats were made of high-quality leather, and there was ample space for passengers, even in the rear seats. The dashboard was updated with new instrumentation, and there were a number of luxury features that were designed to make the driving experience as comfortable and enjoyable as possible. One of the most notable features of the T2 was the inclusion of air conditioning as standard, which was a rarity in luxury cars at the time. There was also a choice of either a manual or automatic air conditioning system, which allowed drivers to tailor the climate control to their specific preferences. Another interesting feature of the T2 was the inclusion of a Blaupunkt stereo system, which was considered to be one of the best audio systems available at the time. The car also had a number of refinements designed to reduce road noise, such as thicker windows and additional insulation. The engine in the T2 was a 6.75-litre V8, which was rated at 220 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. The engine was paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission that was designed to provide smooth and effortless acceleration. Overall, the Bentley T2 was a car that was designed to appeal to a wider audience than its predecessor. While the T1 had been aimed largely at the traditional Bentley clientele, the T2 was intended to compete with other luxury cars on the market, such as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the BMW 7 Series. Production of the Bentley T2 The production of the Bentley T2 began in 1977, and it continued for just 4 years, until 1980. During this time, a total of 558 T2s were produced, each one crafted by hand with the utmost care and attention to detail. The T2 was built at the Crewe factory in Cheshire, England, which had been the home of Bentley since the brand was acquired by Rolls-Royce in 1931. The factory had a long and storied history, and was renowned for its traditional craftsmanship and attention to detail. Each T2 was built to order, with a wide range of customization options available to customers. The car was available in a variety of colors, both inside and out, and there were a number of different options for the interior upholstery and trim. One of the most popular features of the T2 was the inclusion of a Bentley badge on the hood, which was a nod to the brand's storied history. Many customers also opted for custom badging, which included their own initials or crests. The T2 was also available with a number of additional luxury features, such as a picnic table, a drinks cabinet, and a rear window shade. These were all designed to enhance the driving experience and make the car as comfortable and enjoyable as possible. Despite the high quality of the T2, sales were relatively low. Many buyers were put off by the car's high price tag, which was significantly more than other luxury cars on the market. In addition, there was a perception among some buyers that the T2 was too similar to the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, and that it lacked the bespoke design and exclusivity that Bentley was known for. Cultural significance of the Bentley T2. Despite its relatively short production run, the Bentley T2 has had a significant impact on popular culture, particularly in the United Kingdom. The car has appeared in a number of films and TV shows, and is often associated with royalty and the upper classes. One of the most notable appearances of the T2 was in the James Bond film, The Living Daylights, in 1987. The car was driven by Timothy Dalton's Bond character, and it was fitted with a number of high-tech gadgets, including retractable skis and rocket boosters. The T2 has also appeared in a number of other popular films and TV shows, including The Sweeney, The Persuaders, and The Professionals. These appearances have helped to cement the T2's status as a quintessential British luxury car, and have contributed to its enduring popularity among collectors and enthusiasts. Today, the Bentley T2 is considered to be a classic car, and it is highly sought after by collectors. The car is valued for its luxurious design and impeccable craftsmanship, as well as its historical significance and cultural impact. Conclusion: the Bentley T2 is a car that embodies the very essence of the Bentley brand: luxury, exclusivity, and style. It was a car that was designed to be modern and refined, while still maintaining the traditional craftsmanship and attention to detail that had made Bentley famous. At the same time, the T2 was a car that was very much a product of its time, with a focus on innovation and technology that was representative of the era. The car was a symbol of prestige and exclusivity, and it has gone on to become a cultural icon in its own right. Today, the Bentley T2 is a highly sought-after classic car, with a value that reflects its status as a true masterpiece of automotive engineering. It is a testament to the skill and dedication of the artisans who crafted each and every component by hand, and it stands as a proud symbol of the Bentley legacy. Design and features of the Bentley T2. One of the most striking elements of the Bentley T2 was its exterior design. The car was sleek and aerodynamic, with a sculpted front end and a tapering waistline that gave it a dynamic, modern look. The car shared many elements with its Rolls-Royce counterpart, the Silver Shadow, but it had its own unique styling that set it apart. At the front of the car, the T2 featured a low, wide grille with a prominent Bentley badge. The grille was flanked by rectangular headlights, which were mounted higher on the car than those on the T1. This helped to give the car a more modern look, and it also provided better visibility for the driver. The T2 was also notable for its use of a black rubber bumper, which was designed to comply with new safety regulations. The bumper provided better protection in the event of a low-speed impact. But it was also a stylistic departure from the chrome bumpers that had been used on previous models. Moving towards the rear of the car, the T2 had a distinctively sculpted roofline that added to its sporty, modern look. The car had a lower profile than the T1, and it also had a longer hood, which gave it a more dynamic appearance. At the back of the car, the T2 had rectangular tail lights that were set into a sculpted rear end. The trunk was relatively small, but it was still spacious enough to accommodate luggage for a long trip. The interior of the T2 was a study in luxury and refinement. The car had a spacious, comfortable interior that was designed to provide a quiet, relaxing environment for its passengers. The seats were made of high-quality leather, and they were fully adjustable to provide maximum comfort. The dashboard of the T2 was updated with new instrumentation, including a tachometer, speedometer, and fuel gauge. There were also a number of secondary gauges, including temperature and oil pressure, to give the driver a complete picture of the car's performance. One of the most notable features of the T2's interior was its use of high-quality materials. The car was available with a range of different upholstery options, including leather, wool, and suede. The dashboard and door panels were also finished with high-quality materials, such as polished wood and chrome accents. The T2 also featured a number of luxury features that were designed to make the driving experience as comfortable and enjoyable as possible. The car was available with a choice of air conditioning systems, including a manual or automatic system that allowed drivers to tailor the climate control to their preferences. The car also had a high-quality audio system that was produced by Blaupunkt, which was one of the best audio systems available at the time. The car's speakers were placed in strategic locations to provide the best possible sound quality, and there was a range of different inputs, including a cassette player and a radio. Another notable feature of the T2 was its use of advanced technology. The car was available with a number of safety features, including anti-lock brakes, traction control, and an advanced suspension system. These features helped to make the car safer and easier to drive, and they also provided a more comfortable ride for passengers. Overall, the Bentley T2 was a car that was designed to be modern and refined, while still maintaining the traditional craftsmanship and attention to detail that had made Bentley famous. It was a car that was comfortable, luxurious, and designed with the needs of its passengers in mind. Engineering and performance of the Bentley T2. Under the hood, the Bentley T2 was powered by a 6.75-litre V8 engine that produced 220 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. The engine was essentially the same as the one used in the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, but it was tuned to provide a slightly sportier, more dynamic driving experience. The engine in the T2 was mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission that provided smooth and effortless acceleration. The transmission was updated for the T2, with a revised kickdown switch that made it more responsive to throttle inputs. The T2 also featured an advanced suspension system that was designed to provide a comfortable ride without sacrificing handling. The system used independent front and rear suspension, as well as a self-leveling feature that helped to maintain a consistent ride height regardless of the weight in the car. The suspension system also incorporated a number of innovative features, including an anti-dive mechanism that prevented the car from dipping forward when the brakes were applied, as well as an anti-squat mechanism that prevented the car from squatting down at the back when accelerating. These features helped to make the T2 a more stable and responsive car to drive, while still providing the smooth, comfortable ride that was expected of a luxury car. In terms of performance, the Bentley T2 was capable of reaching a top speed of around 118 miles per hour, and it could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 10 seconds. These figures were respectable for a luxury car of the time, and they helped to cement the T2's status as a high-performance vehicle. One area where the T2 struggled, however, was fuel economy. The car had a relatively large and powerful engine, which meant that it was quite fuel-hungry. This was not a major concern for buyers of luxury cars at the time, but it did become more of an issue in the wake of the oil crisis of the 1970s. In response to this, Bentley developed a number of updates to the T2's engine that helped to improve fuel efficiency. These included the introduction of electronic ignition and other engine management systems, as well as the use of newer, more efficient components. While these changes did help to improve fuel economy, they also had the effect of reducing the T2's performance somewhat. The updated cars were still plenty capable, but they were not quite as fast or responsive as the earlier models. Legacy of the Bentley T2. Despite its relatively short production run, the Bentley T2 has had a significant impact on the automotive industry, as well as popular culture. The car was a symbol of luxury and prestige, and it helped to cement the Bentley brand's reputation as a producer of high-quality, high-performance vehicles. Today, the T2 is a highly sought-after classic car, with a value that reflects its status as a true masterpiece of automotive design. The car's sleek, aerodynamic lines, luxurious interior, and powerful engine make it an ideal choice for collectors and enthusiasts alike. The T2 was also an important car in the history of the Bentley brand. It represented a bold departure from the traditional Bentley design language, and it helped to broaden the brand's appeal to a wider range of customers. The T2 was a car that was modern and innovative, while still maintaining the traditional craftsmanship and attention to detail that had made Bentley famous. In many ways, the T2 was a reflection of the era in which it was produced. The car was designed to be sleek, sophisticated, and highly advanced, with a focus on innovation and modernity that was representative of the time. Today, the T2 stands as a testament to the skill and dedication of the artisans who crafted each and every component by hand, and it stands as a proud symbol of the Bentley legacy.